Hello, dear students. In last lecture, we have discussed about the microbial interaction with respect to beneficial type of or positive type of association among the microbes. As we know, microbes uh, live in an association which can be helpful to both of them or maybe harmful to both of them. So the beneficial association we have already discussed with respect to positive or beneficial type of association, in which we have discussed symbiosis or mutualistic type of association, synergism, and commensalism. Now, in this lecture, we'll discuss about the negative or harmful type of association, in which we have to discuss about the what is meant by antagonism, competition, and parasitism. So let's start with this. So when we talk about negative type of association, here also the two partners are involved in that association. And here, due to the presence of one partner, another partner of that association getting harmed. So that type of association is called as negative type of association. So firstly, we'll discuss about what is meant by negative association, and one of the example of harmful or negative type of association is nothing but the antagonism. So what is meant by antagonism? Antagonism is also called as amensalism. So it is amensalism. It is called as amensalism, and it occurs when organism or one organism is inhibited or damaged by the presence of the other organism or the other partner of that association who does not getting benefit. So when discuss about the negative type of association, here again two partners are involved in that association. Here in case of positive association, one of the partner either getting benefit or not, at least not getting harm from the partner of that association. But in case of negative association, due to the presence of one partner uh, among that association, one organism either their growth can be inhibited or damaged by the presence of the other partner of that association. It is called as antagonism. It is a type of association in which one organism adversely affect the environment of the another organism, which may result into the death or prevention of the further growth of that particular organism. So when we talk about negative association, with respect to that, due to the presence of one organism, there becomes an adverse condition for the survival or growth of that particular another organism, so that its growth can be prevented or inhibited due to the presence of or other organism, or some sort of substances are produced by the growth of one organism, so that there becomes an adverse environment for the growth of that organism, and that association is called as antagonism. When we talk about the example of antagonism or negative that type of association, it is nothing but the antibiosis. So where one organism secrete a chemical as a byproduct of their metabolic processes, which kill or damage the other organism but do not benefit the other, can be seen commonly in the nature. So in the diagram, we can also see the petri plate is showing, due to the presence of, here normally we can say, uh, when we inoculated particular type of colonial growth of that organism, and due to the growth of that organism, some sort of byproduct are secreted by that growing organism, and due to that substances, or we can say byproduct, the growth of that another organism that which we have prepared long on that petri plate, that growth is inhibited. So as that organism is growing due to its byproduct, yeah, the activity, or we can say growth of the other organism is inhibited, and here we can see a clear zone of inhibition in that case. So it is called as antibiosis. In another diagram we can also see, normally you can see in the environment, it is a tree, and around the tree there are some small trees are growing. But here what happened, due to the growth of tall tree, the small tree are getting adversely affected with respect to the nutrition, you can see it with respect to sunlight or space, and due to that the growth of that other partners are inhibited. So it is an example of a harmful association or negative type of association. Another type of association with respect to harmful association or negative association that we have taken is nothing but the competition, and the word itself suggests it's nothing but the competition among the two partner of that association. The competition represent a negative relationship between two microbial population in which both the population are adversely affected with respect to their survival and growth. So here we can observe a competition among the two partner of that association in which both the partner are involved in that competition for their growth, we can say, or nutritional requirement, and both the partner getting adversely affected with respect to that competition. So competition, when we talk, it is nothing but with respect to the different resources which can be required for the normal growth of that particular partner. So competition is formed for limited supply of at least one resources. We can say, or we can talk about the resources are nothing but the for that competition could be for food, for water, or for territory, or we can say space. And in that competition, both the partner are involving. So the dominant partner uh, can be inhibit or resist the particular growth of adversely affect the growth of other partner with respect to the requirement for the resources. Microbial population compete for any growth limiting resources such as carbon source, nitrogen source, phosphorus, vitamins, or we can say other words, nothing but the other growth factors which are required for the growth of organism. So when we discuss about the competition or for the growth of particular arts in kind of organism, they require the different carbon sources, nitrogen sources, phosphorus sources, different nutrients, or we can say micronutrient, or different growth factor for their growth. But due to presence of other partner, there exists a competition among that organism, so that one of the partner can absorb more nutrition or that resources, so that scarcity of nutrition can be become that particular environment with respect to either for food, for water, or for territory, or you can say space. So in that way the other partner are getting inhibited or its growth can be adversely affected. Competition inhibit both the population from occupying exactly the same ecological niche, uh, because one will win the competition and the other one is eliminated. So the world, uh, when we talk competition, it is nothing but it is one of the partner, or you can say the participant which are involved in that competition. One of them are getting first number, or you can say it is winner of that particular competition. But apart from that, other participants are eliminated from that competition. So with respect to that, competition among member of the same species, when we discuss competition, so again we can categorize competition among species and intra-species. So when the member of the of that competition are from the same species, or the member of which belong to the same species, that competition are called as intra-specific competition, or you can say intra-species competition. And while other competition where individual or the participant which are involving in that competition are from the different species or belonging from the different species, that competition is called as interspecies or interspecies competition. So we can categorize the competition with respect to the species. When we talk about the example of competition, here we can see when we grow culture of a Staphylococcus aureus and Escherichia coli in a particular growth medium. So what happened, due to the short time period or short generation time of E. coli, uh, its growth multiply very fastly, so that it absorbs nutrition from that particular growth medium, and there it becomes a nutrition deprived medium for the Staphylococcus aureus. So that due to the excessive growth of E. coli, and it is due to the short generation time or high growth rate of E. coli, growth of Staphylococcus aureus can be inhibited, or that particular organism can be eliminated from that environment. So it is an example of competition type of environment or association. Next, harmful association or negative association, when we discuss, is nothing but the predation, or the name itself suggests it is nothing but the prey and predator, we can say. Predation is association in which predator organism directly feed on or kill the prey organism. So in this diagram, we can see normally it is nothing but the carnivorous organism, and they are directly feeding on a herbivorous organism, so that they are directly feed that particular prey, so that its number or its presence is directly eliminated. In predation, predator directly engulfs and digests the another organism. So it is all about predation. The prey can be larger or smaller than predator, and this normally result in the death of the prey. Normally, predator-prey interaction is of short time. As with respect to the association, when talk, the presence of the prey is directly uh, eliminated, or the death of that prey organism is happen with respect to the predation type of association. When we talk about the example of predation type of association, for this we have taken an example of protozoan bacteria in a soil. So what happened? Many protozoans can feed on various bacterial population, which help to maintain the count of soil bacteria at optimum. So when we talk about the, or we discuss about the protozoan, they are directly engulf the bacterial population, as they use that particular bacterial cell as their food, and they directly engulf the bacterial population, so that bacterial population are normally decreased from that particular environment. The Now, for example, Delovibrio, Vamporococcus, Daptobacter, these are the examples of predator bacteria that can feed on a wide range of bacterial population. So it is all about the third, or you can say harmful or negative type of association. Due to that, the presence of other organism is directly eliminated, or the partner of that association is directly uh, eliminated from that association. Fourth association, here is nothing but the parasitism, or we can say parasite are involved in that association. It is a relationship in which one population, or nothing but we can call as nothing but the parasite, getting benefited and derive its nutrition from the other population, and that is nothing but the host organism in the association, which is harm. So when we talk about the with respect to parasitism, there is presence of one is host organism and another is parasitic or parasite type of organism, which is completely depend on the host. The host-parasite relationship is characterized by a relatively long period of contact, which may be physical or metabolic type of contact, we can say. Uh, with respect to the parasite are dependent upon the host and live in an intimate contact. With respect to that, parasites are categorized into obligate parasites and facultative parasites. So in this, parasites are completely depend on the uh, host for their nutrition or for their carried out their complete life cycle. So what is meant by obligate parasites? They are nothing but the parasite which could not grow and multiply outside the body of the host. And for that, we have taken example of viruses, or when we discuss about the viruses, we can say, or the definition of viruses, when we call, it is nothing but the obligate intracellular parasite when we discuss about the parasite. So it is nothing but the example of obligate parasitic interaction, or you can say a best example is nothing but the viruses. Another is facultative parasite, in which that parasitic organism can grow inside as well as the outside of the body of that particular host, in which that parasitic organism can survive or grow inside as well as outside of the body of that host organism, and that parasite are called as facultative parasite. Some parasite localize on the surface of their host cell, known as ectoparasite, while other parasite live inside the host cell, known as endoparasite. Apart from that, some of the parasite which are localized on the surface of their host cell or host body, you can say, they are called as ectoparasite, while other parasite live inside the host cell, they are called as endoparasite. So it is all about negative type of association, and where one of the partner of that association is getting harm from that association. Here we have taken an example of viruses, or you can see it is nothing but the obligate parasitic organism. The viruses are an obligate intracellular parasite that exhibit great host specificity. There are many viruses that are parasite to bacteria also. For example, bacteria, bacteriophage, fungi, algae, and protozoans. So these are nothing but the examples of uh, obligate parasite, or we can say also parasitic type of organisms. Another is Delovibrio. Delo is nothing but the ectoparasite to many of the gram-negative bacteria. So it is another example of ectoparasite. While in case of viruses, we can see it is nothing but the endoparasitic organism, as viruses didn't have any machinery to carry out their metabolic processes. They are so that they are completely depend on the host machinery to carry out their all the metabolic processes. So they are included into endoparasitic group of organisms, and it is all about the um, parasitic type of negative association, where one of the partner of that association getting benefit while other is getting harm. So next part we'll discuss in next lecture. Thank you.